evening to all senior naval officers present here and dear friends from the press and media. Greetings from the Indian Navy on the day preceding the Navy Day. To my right, seated is Commodore Pramod Kulkarni. He is the warship production superintendent who oversees the various indigenous ships being built at Garden Reach shipyard and engineers in Kolkata for the Indian Navy. As the naval officer in charge, West Bengal, I take this opportunity of a few minutes to brief you on the significance of the Navy Day and also share with you some information on how the Navy has grown over the years since the country's independence in 1947 and where it is headed for in the future. Tomorrow, we shall celebrate the 50th Navy Day. The 4th of December every year is celebrated as the Indian Navy Day to commemorate the daring and audacious, devastating attack carried out by the Indian naval missile boats on Pakistan naval warships and the Karachi port on the night of 3rd and 4th December 1971 during the Indo-Pak conflict under Operation Trident. This naval action crippled the Pakistan Navy, its mercantile fleet, and wiped out its strategic fuel reserves. The success of Operation Trident contributed to the overall dominating results in the Indo-Pak War of 1971 and was a turning point for the Indian Navy to be reckoned as a maritime force in the region. The theme for the Navy Day this year is combat ready, credible and cohesive, which indicates that the Navy is in all readiness to respond to any threat from the sea and its ability to deliver a credible and cohesive response wherever and whenever called for. During the period up to and during the Navy Day, the Indian Navy conducts several activities to connect with all citizens with their own Navy. In West Bengal too, several social activities themed or co-themed with the Swarnim Vijay Varsh and Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav have been conducted. These included community interaction programs or CIPs in coastal fishing villages of West Bengal, relief efforts in the aftermath of Cyclone Yas in districts of 24 South Parganas and East Medinipur, the acclaimed performances by the Navy Band concert from 12th to 15th of November with the performances at Rabindra Sadan and also at the South City Mall in the city. Medical camps were conducted by the Navy at Palta in South 24 Parganas and Digha in Purvi Medinipur for the benefit of the needy fishermen, community and villagers. This was done last week. The fishermen, community and the villagers in the coastal states are the ears and eyes on coastal security and they are with the Indian Navy. The Indian Navy also participated in the national exhibition in Science City to promote knowledge amongst youth to choose the Indian Navy as a career option. Many schools and colleges participated in online lectures where details of recruitment options and procedures were explained by a panel of officers from INS Netaji Subhash. The Navy Wives Welfare Association too has provided assistance and aid to orphanages and old age homes in the city. From a humble offshoot of the Royal Indian Navy in 1947, the Indian Navy of today has grown manifold in capacity and capability in all three dimensions of surface ships, the naval aviation, and the undersea domains. Today's Navy is a credible force with indigenously manufactured and produced combat platforms and equipment with contemporary technology. This has enabled bridge and conduct of several naval exercises with friendly navies around the globe. The Navy has been manufacturing warships platforms from the 1960s, and from a buyer's navy, it has transformed to a builder's navy with about 95% of its new fleet being built in Indian shipyards. You are aware of the various indigenous warship construction programs taking place in the country. To reduce dependence on foreign OEMs and possible denial of technology regimes, indigenization has been given due emphasis. Presently, major ships and submarines are being built in Indian shipyards, including the Garden Reach Shipyard and Engineers here in Kolkata, which will produce three multi-mission frigates with almost 80% indigenous content. This is in line with the mission of Atmanirbhar Bharat, Make in India, Skill India, and so on. In fact, day after tomorrow, on 5th of December, Shri Ajay Bhatt, Honorable Raksha Rajya Mantri, and Srimati Pushpa Bhatt will be in the city for the launch ceremony of the first survey vessel large at GRSC. You all are aware of the challenges of COVID-19 during 2021. The Indian Navy got into action for repatriation of about 4,000 Indian nationals stranded in Iran, Maldives, Sri Lanka under Operation Samudra Setu in the early phases of 2020. Also, several COVID-related medical aid such as liquid medical oxygen, concentrators, PPE COVID test kits, etc. were transported by Indian naval warships from friendly foreign countries to India in 2021 during the second wave. The Indian Navy has also provided humanitarian and disaster relief aid to various island nations in the Indian Ocean region. The Indian Navy remains steadfast and combat worthy in the service of the nation. Its combat platforms remain ever ready for action, and its personnel remain always alert. They have provided quick response to any maritime threat and have been the first responders to many to provide relief to our citizens during natural calamities. In short, We are there for you under the credo Nation First and Har Kaam Desh Ke Naam. Wish you all healthy and prosperous times ahead. Thank you. Shano Varuna. Jai Hind.
I am Commander Sudipto Maitra, Public Relations Officer INS Netai Subhash, and on behalf of the Naval Officer in Charge, West Bengal, I welcome you all to the Navy Day press conference on the eve of Navy Day. As you may be aware, the Navy Day is celebrated every year on the 4th of December to commemorate the successful attack by the Indian Navy on Pakistani naval assets and the port of Karachi during the 1971 Indo-Pak War, which was instrumental in ensuring India's victory in the war. The Navy Day and the period in between is known as the Navy Week. During these periods, as has been brought out by the Commodore, various events are conducted which serve to re-establish the connect between the citizens of this nation and their navy. I will be covering my presentation in the sequence which is shown on the screen. Starting with the brief history, although reference to a navy in the Indian subcontinent goes back to the Mauryan Empire in 320 BC, the origins of the Indian Navy can be traced to the 15th century to the Marathas under the Zamorins, as the Maratha Navy in the 17th and 18th century, and further as the Royal Indian Navy under the colonial era, prior to, of course, post-independent the Indian Navy. In order to take you a short journey through time on this topic, I will now be playing a short video.
The sea. Vast. Inscrutable. Requires an eagle eye. A constant gaze. On all that pass. For India, from time immemorial, the sea has afforded opportunities and challenges that alter history. Change has always come from the sea, generation after generation. The sea is where it starts. A benevolent eye, a piercing gaze, the Indian Navy is tasked with both: defending India's sovereignty, uncovering threats, aiding partners, securing the world's busiest trade routes, every duty performed in the service of the nation. We are the Indian Navy. Combat ready, credible and cohesive. Exactly 49 years ago, we had an opportunity to serve our nation as a force at sea. 1971. Millions were forced to flee from East Pakistan. With no political resolution in sight, conflict became inevitable. The Navy was tasked with delivering the hammer blow from the sea, with strikes aimed at decisive outcomes. Destruction of all Pakistani assets at sea and on land. Control of the sea in defense of the homeland. Total blockade of movements from ports in both East and West Pakistan.
The 1971 war was a watershed moment in the history of the Indian Navy. Admiral S. M. Nanda, the then Chief of the Naval Staff, was very clear that the Indian Navy must adopt an aggressive posture. The Indian Navy's contributions were instrumental in India gaining decisive victory in the war and towards the creation of a new friendly neighbor.
The night of 4th December 1971, it began with a daring, unprecedented strike by missile boats on Karachi, inflicting extensive damage to Karachi harbour and shipping. Since then, we celebrate the momentous day of 4th December as Indian Navy Day. A second missile attack on Karachi harbour achieved further destruction of the enemy and maritime dominance for the Navy. On the Eastern Front, in the Bay of Bengal, aircraft carrier Vikrant was a force multiplier for the Eastern Fleet. From airstrikes to the blockade, Vikrant's impact was forceful through the length of the conflict. As strikes by Seahawks prevented East Pakistani forces from using the seas. The enemy dispatched PNS Ghazi to nullify the advantage Vikrant afforded. However, the preemptive actions of INS Rajput gave Ghazi a watery burial near Vishakhapatnam. While action progressed at sea, the Navy also mounted special operations at Chalna Khulna harbors. INS Panvel and the two gunboats Padma and Palash, manned by the Mukti Bahini, entered and inflicted heavy damage on these harbors in the face of stiff resistance. Towards the end of the war, the likelihood of the enemy attempting escape into Burma, now Myanmar, became a distinct possibility. To prevent this, the Indian Navy executed an amphibious landing for the first time in the history of India. As we celebrate our victories, we also pay homage to the brave martyrs of INS Kukri, who made the supreme sacrifice in discharging their duty in the late hours of 9th December. We owe a debt of gratitude to martyrs and veterans of the 1971 war. So this year, we begin the Golden Jubilee celebrations of our victory and the Navy's decisive role in the conquest of a foe and the creation of a friendly neighbor. Indian Navy will forever be combat ready, credible, and cohesive.
Coming to the history of the Navy in Bengal, it goes back to the days prior to World War II, wherein a naval office was opened at Behala and commissioned as Her Majesty's India ship, that is HMIS Hooghly. In 1946, this office shifted to the Royal Barracks at Fort William. In 1954, it moved to its present location at Hastings, and was commissioned as Indian naval ship, that is INS Hooghly. The base was renamed as INS Netaji Subhash in 1974 in honor of the most famous military leader of this state. The naval officer in charge, West Bengal, functions under the operational and administrative control of the Flag Officer Commanding in Chief, Eastern Naval Command, which is headquartered at Visakhapatnam. He also dual hats as the commanding officer of INS Netaji Subhash and is the naval area commander who exercises operational and administrative control over naval units in West Bengal, Bihar, Jharkhand, and the northeastern states. As I pick up the thread about the Navy after independence, the force consisted of about 33 ships only, which included frigates as the largest and several other classes of warships. From its then humble origins, the Indian Navy of today has grown into a force of 130 plus warships and submarines and over 230 aircraft. A broad spectrum of these ships and aircraft are now shown on the screen and displays the three-dimensional capability that has been achieved. That is, on the sea, below it, and in the airspace above. With that as a backdrop, it is my proud privilege to inform that the Navy has over 41 more ships and submarines under construction at various shipyards in the country, including GRSC. And in addition, acceptance of necessity approval has also been accorded by the Government of India for 49 more. The addition of these assets, although a time intensive process, will make your Navy stronger and more capable at safeguarding the emerging threats to the nation and the Indian Ocean region. In order to bring about a sense of perspective, the slide depicts the footprint of the Indian Navy, not just in the seas along the nation's coastline, but extending much beyond into the Indian Ocean region, in order to ensure maritime security and be the first responder to threats and natural calamities that may affect our friendly countries and the region. The Navy also carries the mantle of maritime diplomacy and has sent its ships over the past year to countries westward, extending up to the Arctic Circle and also around the African continent. The eastward extent of deployment of our ships and aircraft regularly goes till the Pacific. Our assets, which deploy to all these countries, undertake naval exercises, both bilateral as well as multilateral, which serves to strengthen diplomatic and military relations with these friendly nations. The regular operational role of the Navy on the maritime frontier, other than, of course, exercising for war, includes surveillance missions, anti piracy operations, protection of maritime trade, joint surveillance of exclusive economic zones, and various types of COVID support and relief operations. After the 26/11 terrorist attacks in the country, the Cabinet Committee on Security designated the Indian Navy as the authority responsible for overall maritime security, including coastal security and offshore security. A coordinated synergy wheel depicting the various organizations which form the backbone of this construct is shown on the screen. 4 joint operation centers function in the country round the clock for implementing this mechanism, which provides security to the nation's coastline. These JOCs are integrated with the Coast Guard, State Marine Police, and other agencies such as customs, fisheries, etc., in order to have a cohesive response to any emerging threat. 51 coastal radar stations, as shown on the screen, form the backbone of this surveillance effort. which provides data and electronic surveillance of the entire Indian coastline. The data feed from these stations as well as other sources are integrated at the Information Management and Analysis Center or IMAC, which is placed at Gurugram near Delhi and provided to all JOCs in real time. This data rides on a platform which is known as Trigun, which is a software developed in-house by the Navy. The screen displays the picture provided by this software where you can see all the ships that are transiting the seas, including data about the ship's course, that is direction, speed, next port of call, cargo, crew, including their nationalities, etc. This mechanism is put through its paces by coastal security exercises which are regularly conducted at the pan-India as well as the state level to ensure an integrated response by all stakeholders as well as correct knowledge and implementation of procedures. The Sea Vigil exercise conducted in January this year saw the National Security Guard Commandos operate at Kolkata for the very first time. A new initiative by the NOIC West Bengal has been the Nadi Suraksha Abhiyan, which sees our naval patrol boats operating at large distances from Kolkata, which provides enhanced surveillance on the river Hooghly.